that introduction was a little bit intense for you, you might as well just leave. It's gonna get a whole lot madder in here. But if it was cool to you, stick around. It's just gonna get better. First things first, there's one thing you need to know about Musselcracker. And that is in this book.
All that you need to know about the Musselcracker is that it's a formidable fighter.
In this video, we're gonna go through 5 fights with 5 mad crackers. So the first fight that we're gonna go through gave me this scar. I called it the wrist wrapper because it pretty much tried to kill me. But I don't blame it, I just put a spear through its head. Let's check it out.
If you've been watching my channel long enough, you know that I'd call this hunting water. Water's not clean, but it's definitely not murky. This reef is called Devil's Reef and it is absolutely beautiful. And in my experience, it holds the biggest musselcracker in the bay. Here I am, lying in wait, in hope for a big one to come by. Little do I know, I'm about to be presented with an opportunity of a lifetime. Realizing at this point I needed help, I called my dive buddy over. Somehow the fish had managed to wrap the shooting line around my wrist, and I could not get it off without letting go of the fish. My initial reaction was just to try to tug that off my wrist, but it just got tighter and tighter and actually ended up giving me the scar. So all I could do here was just wait for my dive buddy to come over so he could help me with the fish. For me, this was one of the first experience of actual danger when hunting musselcracker, because these creatures, they are strong and they fight like mad things. And that's why you have dive buddies like Brian, ever reliable, always there.
That's the biggest one you shot. Dude, this thing wrapped me out. Look.
At this point in time, it was one of the biggest musselcracker I've ever shot, weighing a solid 12 kgs, beautiful fish at that. In my opinion, there's some kind of hybrid between the giant trevally and the snapper that you get in New Zealand and Australia. Absolute powerhouse of a fish. My initial reaction was that it was a little bit bigger than it actually was.
That is what we call a musselcracker. Look at this thing. Proper specimen. Definitely around 15 kgs. Longest one I've ever got. Huge. Right.
Before we get any further into the video, I just want to say thank you for all of your support so far. My previous cracker video did so well, and I'm just very happy with that. For all of you that aren't subscribed, but you want to see more of my content, consider subscribing. Here we are sitting at 737 absolute legends. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for subscribing. I'll keep making these videos just for you guys. With all that said and done, let's get back into the video. So the second fight that I had with the musselcracker, I used a bit of a secret ingredient in the mix. And on this day, I thought I was hot.
You gotta be good to get them here.
Hitting a double bullseye, nothing could beat me.
You might be wondering what these things in my hands are. Well, it's called a musselcracker. So what I do is grab a bunch of mussels off the rocks, And then when I get onto a piece of reef, I take the mussels and I just make a scratching noise on it. For me, I found some success with this. As you can see in this video, it definitely worked. So this is a spot called Six Pillars, and it's an old whaling station. But it juts out to the sea, and it acts as kind of a highway, and the fish just seem to swim past it. It's a spot that gets a lot of attention from beginners because it's safe and comfortable. But if you're here and you're on these kind of spots, these popular spots, there's a reason they're popular. Sometimes they get great fish, just like today. But that's only if you're willing to go out in what we call the right terrible conditions for Musselcracker. And if luck is on your side, this will happen.
Yessie. Bullseye, baby. Yo, what a fish, eh? Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Duck stacks again. Beautiful crack just here. Off the classic 6 fillers. You gotta be good to get them here.
The third fight was a complete surprise.
This was just the other day, and I did not see a thing. Conditions were terrible. It was murky.
So this is a spot that I know only holds big musselcracker. I have never seen a musselcracker under 10 kgs here. And a 10 kg cracker is the previous cracker that we just saw. I have only seen absolute tankers. I reiterate, the conditions for musselcracker are not the conditions for jobfish or wahoo. You want murky water. You want water that is working and full of nutrients. But you'll have to train your eye to spot these guys at the murk. At this point, I had no idea what a tank this fish was. But soon I'd see the shot was not good and this fish was about to come off. So I tried to play as easy as possible and just get it to the surface. When I had the fish in hand, I realized what it was. You can hear the moment I realized how big this cracker was and how off guard I was caught by this fish. I did not expect a thing, and I came out with this beautiful, beautiful creature.
So the fourth fight was the first big musselcracker I got on camera. The footage is old, it's pixelated and crusty. The fish was amazing. A huge 15-kilo specimen, bent my spear to look like a fishing hook. What an experience, and something I'll never forget.
This is probably my luckiest musselcracker yet. It's not every day that a musselcracker swims right up to you within 20 seconds of your dive.
If you like this video, give it a like. If you don't like it, give it a dislike. If you have a suggestion on something I can do different, hop in the comments, tell me about it. Before we get to the last fight, let's go through some bonus fights. Misses, second shots, and a very proud moment for me. On this first dive, beautiful clear water, Devil's Reef, amazing spot. Suddenly, a form appears on my left. And then exactly 6 months after that last clip, the same thing happens to me in the same spot. Another buzz by a big cracker. Again, I don't get the shot off. Then after this we get to the pillars cracker. This was an old clip. You can see it's old footage. This is actually the only version I have of it is from WhatsApp from Brian. It was my first cracker at pillars and I was very happy with it because I'd seen them here numerous times, but I've always missed or lost them. Then this clip is awesome. This is a dive with spearfisherman, otherwise known as Don. We went diving in some deep water. There's a rumor that cracker only shallow water fish. It's not true. The books might say it, but this is at about 24 meters of water, which in my mind I wouldn't say is shallow at all. And Don went down and shot a big cracker. Thing is, the shot didn't go through. And he was fighting this thing slowly, and I'm just there waiting and wondering why he's fighting it so calmly. Meanwhile, it needs a second shot. Take the shot, secure the fish. And then lastly is my proudest moment as a diver. So my best mate Brian finally got himself a big cracker. Just look at that face. I didn't get a footage of it, unfortunately, but here's the aftermath. Decent fish, well done Brian. And then we come to the final bonus clip. Here I am diving in about 10 meters of water off boat with my friend Phil. Suddenly, a big cracker appears from the mist. On this day, I decided to leave it. Any other day I could have taken the shot, but today I didn't feel like taking this fish because the week before I had just shot the final fight on this list. Diving into some surf water, there's no other way to say it. This water was not nice. It was murky, it was cold, but the reef was alive. I waited there and I'd seen this fish probably 3 times before this. If you've watched my latest video, this is that fish. You would recognize this reef and you'll definitely recognize this fish.
If I had to choose any example to show you of what hunting musselcracker looks like, it would be this. This water is terribly murky. It's brown. I've tried to edit this thing not to look like I'm diving in a dam. But the fish are absolutely on. I'm strumming the band to try to get them closer, concealing myself as much as I can, because what you're doing here is you're creating a 1v1. You know, this fish is much faster than you, so you have to catch it off guard, and you just need to isolate a situation where you have half a second that you can beat this cracker, because if you give it any more time than that, you're not even going to get a chance. Everything lined up this day, and I got my cracker.
Right.
It is this absolute power that these fish take off with that makes me think. The power to weight ratio that these fish have is unmatched in the ocean. After hitting a vital shot on this fish, it still took me for a joyride at the bottom of the ocean. Just take a look at this amazing specimen.
What the fuck's going on his head? Big fish, eh? You've got to fucking use it. Yeah, he's like basically all head, eh? That thing's got a monster head, but you have to do a jaw mount to that thing.
This fish is a monster.
Biggest fish in 10 years. Incredibly proud of this fish. In my 10 years of diving, these are my 5 best fights with Musselcracker. Absolutely mad creatures, love them to bits, and I hope that this video gave them a bit of credit in your mind, because you probably won't know this fish if you're not from me.
Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that video. Which one was your favorite? I'd say probably the first one. That was just a beautiful interaction. The first time I really realized that I could actually die underwater and this fish could kill me. And it brought a lot more weight to what I was doing. But what did you think? If you like this video, give it a like. If you like my channel, maybe subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now. Talk.